Hey, welcome in everybody. We are working towards week 3. Well, actually, I think we are in week 3, so we are working towards a championship. Yes, I said it. All right, so the Cowboys are 2-0. We are going up against the Bears at Soldier Field. All right, everything has been done. We still have negotiations to do. Um, I got to be honest with you. I am kind of leaning towards re-signing them. Not well, extending them, right? I think I can get a deal done. 6 years, 23, 22, 23. Only thing is that will only leave room for one other player. So we'll have to see. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get jump in and get this started. We our format is we're gonna sim and then we're gonna play. Okay, be right there. All right, here we go.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here. As it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. On the Cowboys sideline, head coach Brian Schottenheimer. His guys a perfect 2-0 to start the year. On the other side, the head coach of the Bears, Ben Johnson. His guys not quite as hot to start the year. 0-2 heading into this one.
All right, let's see if we can take advantage of that. All right, let's get it all set up. Well, actually, we don't have to do anything yet. All right, we're going to jump forward to the next quarter. Okay, that didn't bode well for us. If it keeps this way, we might have to jump in earlier. 17 nothing. 17-7. We got an uphill climb. That's for certain. Okay. Here we go.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. They're able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
All right, we're going to play the moment. But first thing we're going to do, and what we always do, or what I do, is I come in here and I take a look at the stats. Got to see what exactly happened. 17-7. Oh, gosh. 16 first downs. Almost 300 yards in offense right off the bat, and it's through the air. Why do I say that? Because they only got 49 yards on the ground. 2 touchdowns, but 49 yards on the ground. We got 31. We're averaging 3.1 per carry. They're averaging 4.1. But he's 19 of 27 for 249 yards. What the F, the ever loving F, is going on with this team? We can't stop anything. He can't complete a thing. All right. Williams is sucking. Blue sucks. We need a running back. I got to be honest with you. I probably I'm not IRL. I think Williams is going to have a good year. Madden wise, I don't think so. DeAndre Swift is pretty much him and Prescott are, well, actually Mononga and Caleb Williams, but every quarterback, and then here's the problem real quick. Every quarterback is a superstar in this game. Every CPU quarterback is just ever loving. They're mobile. They run, even if they're not really running quarterbacks, they run very well. It's just the CPU setting, and I forgot one more freaking time. I'm pissed off at myself now. I was going to move it back to all not all Madden, but all pro from all Madden. Okay, so I'm picking up right where I left off the last time with the frustrations. CD Lamb, 4 catches. Ferguson, that's it. All right. Yep, look at that. 2 sacks we've done given up. Right there in the interior, too. And then Gervin Dexter is out. So who they got in the middle that just rushing up the. There you go. Dante Fowler Jr. has got a sack. But there it is. Seriously, Kyler Gordon, Billings, Tremaine Edmonds, and then Jonathan Owens. All right. Nursery's not too bad. I'm not completely sure how I feel on oh let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh dang. And then the other thing I forgot to do is turn off breakout scenarios. I was watching sim game sim gaming sim something gaming football some football sim football gaming. God dang it, I can't remember their name. I am getting old. So I was watching, and they made a very good point, right? Breakout scenarios will happen behind the scenes, right? Even if you don't. The key is when these scenarios come up, they actually suck. So you get the scenario, and then you are supposed to, and then you kind of like do everything you can to make the scenario, the breakout scenario, happen. And it usually doesn't go well. So then you're like overcompensating. You're really pushing hard. Okay, somebody, Benton didn't look good. Yeah, Benton looks like he's hurting. so, so it seems like you're really. Oh no, we're gonna leave it like that. So you press, right? Say like you have a scenario where if your running back runs for 150 yards, the scenario is if he runs for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, he'll move up a dev trait. So and you're pushing it. But then he made a good point. What if you run for 125, catch for 50, and then score 1 touchdown? He had an awesome game still, but he doesn't hit it. So if you let it happen organically behind, basically let the game decide when your player has done enough to move up a dev trait, then it'll still happen. It's just that you're not now pressing.
Offense first here in this third quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slope if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
You freaking do.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2.
It was not. I was hitting the button, and it just was not registering it at all. I'm sitting there like, can you just do what I'm trying to tell you to do?
Here's a 2nd and 8.
All right, see? Now I'm hitting the button again. And then by the time I got it to register, it was on the wrong receiver. So I had to call a timeout.
Prescott to throw it. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26. And also
one of the things I did do was I put
Nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure.
a
They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride. He was able to run free after the catch.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Prescott. Slant pass. It's Ferguson.
so
He's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's taken a while.
I elected for the cool down.
Creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
This is the 4th time that I hit that button.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they've got it.
I hit the Y button 4 times to select its receiver to change his thing, and it would not register.
In the first half, and this one number 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
Offside. Defense.
I gotta be honest, I don't like the running. The running game here. I don't think the offensive line.
When each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
See, I feel like there's 0 push, 0 block. There's no, you know what I mean? There's constant guys running free in your backfield.
Is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Yeah.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown.
The other thing is, I didn't reset the delay there.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even fast.
Now for the point after.
All right, now I need And we need our defense to actually do something.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Through the juke. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw, it's Williams.
Looks like we're in nickel.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll fake the give, now Williams. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again.
They can probably do that all game.
History, traditions,
Probably have been.
Teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
All right, looks like we're back in base.
7.
At the 39-yard line.
Play action. Now Williams. He's got a man. It's his fullback.
It's nickel and diming us.
Getting this one across the 40.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and
Williams going to look to throw again. Oh, this is
Nice.
incomplete. The rush gets
Finally.
home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13.
Dang.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
All right, we're back.
Touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are we going to take away now? What are we going to do as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
All right, so I have I want to say a timeout on play calling. Like you can't call it over again. And then so I don't remember what the delay is or how many times you can call it. How many plays you got to wait until you call it again. I'm probably, in truth, going to take it off. I was hoping it wouldn't show the play again. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, all right, you can't call it again. So why do you keep showing it to me? And then I got to be honest with you. I think, in truth, oh man, I got to be honest with you. As I play, the more I play, the more disappointed I am with this year's, edition. I think the play calling is horrendous. The options, I think a lot of, you're giving me the same set of plays every single down. And it's like there's no creativity. See, look, you're giving me a very limited, right? And I'm trying to stick with the coach's suggestions, but you're not giving me anything. You are giving me absolutely nothing. Wait. What? That wasn't. I thought that was interference. He took him down, but I guess that's legal, huh? Did I call the right play? All right, I guess I did. Better hold on to that ball. See how he had that ball like slinging out there like that? If he had fumbled, he'd have been out of the game forever. See, now here's the thing. If you watch, see, like, there it is. That play, just the play that we just ran is right there. And then it's like, dude, find something else to show me, right? Isn't that what this? You're supposed to be able to do that, right? So, but here's the thing, though, and then and maybe it's me, right? And maybe I'm overly sensitive to it, but when I watch, damn it, and then here's the thing: they catch everything. The CPU defenders will catch every single ball, and we have it turned down to 30. In last year's edition, you had to turn it down under. You had to take it under 25. And the fact that if we have to do that again this year, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That means you don't care. What it means is you absolutely 100% did not care about any of the feedback we gave you. You didn't care that we didn't like it one bit. And then you just decided to take the lazy approach, EA, take the lazy approach and just not fix it at all. Not tune it, not try to figure out a better way to do it. And that's unacceptable. Now, the hardest thing for me is like I said, you got people like Ryan Moody, Soft Drink TV. It seems like they specifically are trying to just constantly dig up and just show all the negative things about Madden. The problem is EA is making it too hard these days. They're not improving the game, they're worsening the game. And then all the stuff they took away, fine. But, you're not adding anything that's actually worthwhile. It's it I got to be honest with you. I don't like college football. And what I mean by that, and everything just went quiet. I don't like EA's version of college football right now. It's not fun to play. It's not. It just. And then the fact that they won't put it on PC, the fact that it just isn't. In my opinion, it isn't good. Is it better than Madden? I don't know. I've always liked Madden better than college football anyway. But I loved both before, and then something has happened, and now we have people that greed and business trumps, quality and caring about your customers. And I mean, one interception and I'm going on a tirade. Nobody wants to see that. This is terrible football. So yeah, it just so part of me just want to set up the sliders to exactly where they were last year and just say fuck it and just sim everything because the game isn't fun to play anymore. I don't think it is. I really hate what they did with the run game. I don't like that the in the passing game. I And then, so what I'm saying is, look, what you're seeing is there's a lot more holes being generated by the CPU offensive line than than the player controlled offensive line. And now we do eventually, uh, once in a while, do have a stout defense against the run, but more times than not, we'll see just gaping holes. That does not happen. That does not happen. But okay. So when I look at this, and I like I said, I try, but what I do is I look for how many gaping holes do I see. Do I just notice a considerable number? I'm not like actually writing it down and then tracking it or whatever, but I want to see. You know, do I notice? Is it noticeably different? Right, where I'm watching the CPU offensive line open up much bigger holes more often. You know, do I notice more receivers running open in the secondary than when I'm trying to throw the ball? That I got nobody running open, or I got one guy that might be, just ahead, just a smidge ahead of his defender, and so I'm trying to get the ball out in front of him so that maybe and then all I can do is just crossing routes to get him open, and occasionally there's that one route that I'll see my guy out here on a I'll see him out there, and then boom. Do you see how far behind that was? Like I gotta, again, the reason I'm even playing or using the team right now is because it gets so frustrating to watch the stupidest play calls by the AI. Right? What down is this? I don't know what down I'm on. Second. So I'm not, but truth be told, God damn it. No. When you hit the button 5 times to try to, you know what I mean? It's bad enough I got to come up here and I got to audible on every single freaking play because you're giving me bullshit. But then when I'm trying to do, change the receiver set or routes, I gotta hit the button like 20 times to freaking get the receiver. You know what I mean? So it's just annoying. But you see, only thing I got is I got to keep. I got to keep. Look at that. Where was I going to be able to go with that? Do you see what I'm saying? I just think it's just fucking ridiculous just how piss poor the gameplay has gotten in the last few years. The last time I actually enjoyed playing Madden, right? I believe it was Madden 24. Not last year. Madden 24. I actually enjoyed playing that one. Last year's version, it sucked so bad that I just couldn't play it. I just didn't play it. I didn't want to. And then, see, look, I'm pressing the button to get the receiver to highlight.
Delay of game, offense.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards.
Still second down.
Five times now. So I had to make him. Okay, so he was not going to go up for that. I went up with that. So I did, that was all me. I hate to say it. I don't want to toot my horn because usually I just try to throw the ball, but I did guide the ball in towards I did guide it in, and then I had to went with the Y to make him go up for the catch, and luckily he was able to outrun everybody. But it's just annoying. And then maybe it's me, right? And then maybe I should take the hint. Madden has said, EA is basically saying Madden is not for you anymore. Madden is not for you anymore because we don't care about franchise players. We don't care about actually giving you what you want. We don't care about tuning the game so that it feels okay. And then, we want the frustration. We want you to be annoyed with us consistently until you figure out how to get the sliders to work. And the worst part is, I don't agree with anybody that says, okay, so right here, what the fuck? So when it's sim CPU plus versus CPU, right? Supposedly, only the CPU sliders are the ones that really take effect, right? Or the one that count. So whatever you do to the CPU, you're doing to your team. I think. I don't know. But there was a time long ago where someone had pointed out that for new users, right, one of the things they do is they tune the games so that you have more, I'm going to use the word parity. And what I mean is so that the games are more exciting. They go back and forth, kind of like real football. Yeah. The offense wins, defense takes a back seat. But I got to be honest with you. When I see this kind of crap, I've not seen anything good yet. This does not look good to me. I don't necessarily think this is. Do you see what I'm talking about? I don't know that it really. I am getting closer to the point where this looks like a piss poor product to me. Now, they might have taken it. I would have just declined it. 3rd and 12. 12. Second. There's a couple of things, right? I know this pushes them maybe out of field goal range, except I don't trust my defense to hold them here. Fowler is trying to shut me up. He's trying to say, no, we can do something. I'm like, no, you can't. It's 3rd and 26, and you're about to give up 28 yards.
And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
That's a shocker. That is an absolute shocker right there. DJ Moore going up against Elam. Ooh. Ooh. Wanye Thomas almost got cut. He almost got cut. If you saw that, he was dangerously close to running into that kicker. Don't like it. See, I can't select. You give me this run play, and then that's the only run play you give me. And then you sit there, it's like, here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
What the fuck are you giving me here? I am not. What the fuck, man?
Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Across midfield inside the 45. 57 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. On 1st down, it's Blue. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we
You see, it still keeps giving me these plays that I can't choose. It's like, well, then just remove them.
in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 7.
Is he faking just to stop the clock?
On that last run, it looks like we have a player who is shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
All right, what do we got?
Experience. The first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle
Oh, dang. I was expecting a hold. I didn't even look out there. How many times have you guys let me know? How many times have you seen your defender lined up in the backfield? Oh, shoot. See, just hold your freaking block, asshole.
Now we'll pause for an injury here. That's George Pickens, the receiver who's in some discomfort.
Not okay. Not good.
Obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Prescott now. Touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm just hitting the button trying to advance it, and it is just not registering a goddamn thing. And another flag. Seriously? Feels like they're losing it. I mean, if you think about it, that was to their advantage. They rough the kicker, they get the ball at the 35 because our kicker can't keep it in.
Still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion.
There we go. Get some rush going. There we go. There we go, rookie. Uh-oh. Williams is out. Oh, yeah, but the guy that comes in got a cannon arm. Throwing lasers. There you go.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. Clinging to a 1-score lead.
All right, let's see what we got.
Within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage.
A little more speed, he probably would have got through there. I'd like to call that play again, please. Oh, no, you can't, because you're an idiot. Oh, and look, this one is also locked for a minute. Well, I guess I'm going to have to throw the ball then. This is not what I wanted to do. I couldn't get control of any other receiver.
He'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys.
I think 26 for injury is too high.
Going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take that cool down, that play cool down. thing off. Well, because it's annoying, one, and then two, because if you notice, the only 2 run plays they give me are the 2 that are in cooldown right now. And that is just completely asinine. It's like, it makes no sense. If it's in cooldown, don't show it. God damn it.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Should I be?
Prescott to throw it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
I was late throwing it. Scooney. Scooney. Oh, I'm disappointed I can't call the plays I want to call because I was stupid and decided, hey, I wanted more variety, so I'll put them, cool down. And nope, that does not what it didn't help. And look, right there gives us that play one more time. Is like, hey, why don't you run it again? Because it's on cooldown and you're not creative enough to give us something different. Why won't it? What the fuck? Okay, bud, you gotta hold your water, man. You gotta hold your water. That was just. Who were you? Only took 3 games. I know what you're thinking. You're like, dude, you're winning. Why are you having such a hard? Why are you being so harsh? Because I'm not gonna say I'm a perfectionist, but I like things the way I like them. Plain and simple. I like it the way I like it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like my brother, when he used to play Madden, right? I don't know if he still does or not. But he would turn his sliders all to 99 for his team and then, turn down the sliders for the CPU. So it didn't matter. Right? And then, I'm like, dude, how's that? It's not that how's that fair or anything, but how are you getting any kind of challenge? And then, but then again, I used to be the same way too when I was younger. And, the challenge was how many points can I score? Can I score 80? Can I score 100? You know? And now it's, you know, trying to keep it real life. The fact that Marquise Bell is in there at D tackle really irks the crap out of me. And because there is no set. Oh, this is the Cowboys defense. Never mind. There is a set in the Cowboys defense where the safety comes down and plays D tackle, which is stupid. What a great defensive play by the offensive player. All right, Williams is back in at least. Caleb. Tackling is optional, apparently, in football. There's, it's not a requirement. All right, EZ, come on. We need an Ezraku sack. See this 3-man thing? Here's the thing. It wouldn't bother me so much if it was like shut down. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we're doing a 3-man line because our 8 defenders are going to shut them down. But there's receivers running free and clear in the secondary. Nice. Well, there we have it. Somebody lit a fire under the offense.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it.
And we even turned the ball over through an interception.
And that led them to victory.
So for the Cowboys, it's an
Oh, Fergie had 2 touchdowns.
now on the young season, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.
All right, so
Try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.
okay.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right. So this triggers me a little bit. Almost 400 yards passing. Almost 400 yards passing for Caleb Williams. Dak had 319, 4 touchdowns, and that interception we threw. Because Tremaine Edmonds, he's got those Velcro hands. You know what I mean? Any ball get near him, they stick to his hands like glue. Right? So Javonte Williams did come up with 17 rushes, 94 yards, 5.5 yard per carry, and a touchdown. So not a bad game, actually. His longest was 16. Jaden Blue, his longest 13. Oh shoot, wrong button. Receiving, Odunze, 9 for 126. Cole Kmet, 8 for 61. DJ Moore, 7 for 81. I mean, we did get finally, right? Lamb only had 2 catches in the second half. Noel, 5 catches. Ferguson had 4 catches and 2 touchdowns in the second half. We got Scooney into the action. Pickens, 1 catch for 28 yards. We know he can do better than that. All right, the blocking. We got more, I think, more sacks in the second half. Our players started to actually play a little bit. See, as Raku, Fowler with tackles for loss, Overshone, Odigizua, and then we got some sacks going. Fowler with 2.5, Odigizua with 1.5, as Raku with half a sack. Of course, they had 2 sacks already coming into the second half and managed only to get no more. But Sticky Hands Edmonds got himself an interception. I believe it's the only turnover of the game. Yep, only turnover of the game. So, again, it's the jury's still out on this. You know what I mean? I don't want to say but it's for me. Here's the things I'm waiting for, right? I am waiting for some more slider sets to come out, more people tuning and everything, because I don't just use one person's slider sets. For me, and in the final set that I ended up using was my own, right? But it was based on um shady gaming and sim football gaming and one other. So it was 3 different slider sets that I looked at, and then I looked at their reasoning and why they, chose the values that they were with that they did. And then based on my preferences and based on what I saw, right? And whether it contradicted what I think what they said they saw, or what they were trying, the desired effect they wanted might not have been exactly what I wanted. But then I could take and tweak my sliders based on that. And so, but you see, for me, and then my problem is this, what it is it takes so long to get a good feel and sense of the game to get the sliders to where you need them to be. And you keep playing with them, and there wasn't a breakthrough until they finally figured out that, oh, the penalties also affect the gameplay. So now we got to tweak the penalties one way or another in order to get the desired results that we're looking for, because simply using the player and CPU sliders, with the blocking and, that stuff isn't going to help you. And to overcome the laser focus and dead eye aim of the CPU quarterback, you had to tune it down turn it to the point where at some point you almost had to set it to 0 in order to get him to miss a freaking pass. And to me, that is unsatisfactory. And it's like you you are failing to produce a product worthwhile if your CPU is godlike. And every CPU quarterback, whether it's the starter or the third string quarterback, are going out there throwing dots every single time. There's a reason why it is a third string quarterback, you know? Throwing dots is not why. It's not why, So it's it gets very frustrating to see how poor the tuning is from year to year, and it's like you have this thing in your hands for this amount of time, and somehow you can't figure out how to fix the issues from the year before. Now, here's another thing. You see this messages down here? It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. And the reason it's a big deal is because if we go to this message and then read it, okay? Let's make sure Trayvon Diggs is ready for battle against DJ Moore this week. This will be the fourth or fifth time that I've actually read that message. But every time I go into a screen, right, and then come back and do something else, eventually that message comes back to me and says, "Oh, hey, by the way, let's do this," or "Hey, do that." And it's like, can you just leave me alone and stop making that message pop for me? Now, it's not doing it for me right now, but it will if I figure out exactly what it is that I need to do to make it do that thing, right? So, um, again, like I said, we got players. Here's the thing, guys. I don't know. Okay, in real life, okay, signing Micah Parsons may be possible. It would be tricky as all get up, but they would do it, and they would finagle the numbers and the books and everything to make it work. I'll tell you right now, though, in Madden, he would have been the only player that we would have been able to sign. Maybe one other, and that'd been it. We wouldn't have been able to sign anybody else. And well, that's in Madden, right? But I don't know. Like I'm looking here, I could sign 8 players with the amount of money I have left. So 8 of the 17 here, I can sign and have to let 9 go. But the big blinking one on the board right there is the 24-year-old superstar. He's not even a superstar, but soon to be superstar wide receiver, right? And then, Damone Clark is starting to, you know, I'm starting to warm up to him a little bit. If I want Kenneth Murray to stay, so it's kind of like, which ones can you keep? All right, but that I'm off on a different subject right there. Um, so again, it's hold on. I'm gonna hit this. Let's listen to this while I collect my thoughts real quick.
And not a moment too soon. I'm Scott Hansen, and this is your EA Sports weekly recap for Week 3. Lots to get to this week. We'll start at Soldier Field. The Bears at home.
It's the only game that probably that has been played. Looks a lot brighter out in this.
The Cowboys are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory.
Than our actual game.
Next, it's the Windy City. We'll check in on the Bears as they're hosting the Dallas Cowboys. And this is the Cardinals wideout. Beautiful ball hitting him on the slant. He catches it in stride, and he just keeps running. The Cardinals get their 3rd win as they come away with the victory. Lastly, let's go out to Santa Clara. The 49ers hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Note to self. Do not run the weekly recap until you finish playing all the games for the week. And do it before you start playing any games for the next upcoming week. it, oopsies. So, yeah. So again, I am myself 100% disappointed in this iteration of the game so far. I don't consider all right, Coast Central, it's an okay ad. Um the abilities I think fall short of what they could be, and I think the the potential is there. I just think I think you got me chasing my tail for a lot of nothing. And what I mean by that is all the potential things I can unlock, great. But in truth, only two or three of these are actually going to have any effect for me, right, on the game. Because right now, you see, I only have one thing checked. So that's the only thing that's in my loadout for this coach. If I come back here, right, I can try. Now he's kind of tied in because Riot Shield, but it's not his. It's the other. It's Schottenheimer's. So I can boost this, but it's not active, so it doesn't do anything. And then all these things, right? But none of them are doing anything. So he has all these things, but they don't. They have no effect on the game. Mr. Washington, our defensive coordinator. So we got that. So, but that's the only one out of. So we're chasing our tail on all these other abilities, but for what purpose? You know, just let them unlock as as you level up, because they do you absolutely no good right now because we can only select one and have one in our loadout, right? And make it have any effect on the game. Same with this guy, right? And this is the one that I need to select. So in our loadout, we'll select this one. But so we have this one ability for this coach, and until he gets to level 24, well, we get a second slot. So we can only have two. All right. And then play sheets. I think the maximum number of play sheets you can have active is four. So really, I mean, technically, if you find four play sheets that you like to help yourself out, what do you need to chase after the other ones for? Right? Okay, you say, well, it could be game time, right? Depending on who you're facing. True, right? But you're not the only one with play sheets. And then again, like I said, you're just chasing your tail all for nothing with nothing to gain. And then you can see I got one play sheet set here and then one defensive play sheet set there. This one, I don't know why it keeps selecting itself. I know why, because at some point I thought to boost this one up, and then since it's all a boosted, it keeps doing that. Only problem is, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think it does as much good because we're not running heavy sets all the time. So it was kind of a waste, right? So you're seeing, and then in truth, if I really wanted to run a good play set, it would either have to be the West Coast or the red zone passing play sheet. And then more than likely, the West Coast is probably going to do more for me right now, right? So, and so I just don't think, like I said, it's like nice, but I don't think it was completely. Well, I don't want to say it wasn't completely thought through. I'll just say that you know the implementation and what they expect you to do just isn't okay. So it's fine for a little thing on the side there, but again, for me, it's like, when we're doing our weekly strategy, give me those menus that I have in game. Let me set my splits, for my safeties. Let me set, my drops for zone. Let me set what I'm doing with my linebackers, right? Let me set, am I doing a QB spy, right? So going into the game, that's the actual strategy that takes place. You know what I mean? And then on offense, how aggressive do we want to be? Do I want to run more, throw more? You know? And then in game, yeah, all right, I might need to tweak it a little bit, right? Because games are fluid and things happen. But let me set all that up first before we go into the game. And then so it's just like I said, it just falls short. It just seems hollow, empty. And so that right there for me was I give it a D minus. So it wasn't an improvement over last year. Well, it was a slight improvement over last year. Last year's was an F. That weekly strategy thing was an F every single year. So getting rid of it now is a D minus because you still fell short. You still fell way short. The potential for what you could be doing is so there. You just have to need to do it, and you're just failing. You're failing us every time, and then you're just taking our money every single year. So this year I did buy college football, right? And then as a result, I bought the package so I could have Madden NFL. And next year, I will safely say I don't think I'll buy college football again. Not unless something drastically changes and I hear something like, "Ooh, they've improved this, they've done this," right? And I think the only way that I would actually even be interested in it is if they finally got it to PC, right? Um, like I said, unless I drop EA Play or unless EA Play drops Madden, I'll get Madden on EA Play, so I don't have to worry about it. Um, but yeah, so it's hard, to be excited or to say that they've done anything great with this iteration, and then come up with a new, how do you say, walkout thing for the games. Great. Why couldn't you spend that time and effort that you put into that into tuning the freaking gameplay? So we don't have to spend the first 3 months playing, trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the daggone sliders so we can get it to work. So, scouting reports on Packers. I'm worried about stopping the run game with Josh Jacobs. He's a beast. And then Mike improvement. Hey, coach, looks like Eric Kendricks is on the trade block. Why would we be interested in Eric Kendricks? He's 52 years old. Okay, so you see that. But then when we go in here, and then we're going to be done after we do this. So like I said, here's our loadouts, right? So right now we have Riot Shield. That's fine. And then we have Angry Runner. So, Riot Shield, Angry Runner. All right. We got to go back. And then it's got shot plays play sheet and wide slot play sheet. Okay. Now, I don't like it. I think, oh, wait. I forgot to take that off. So we're gonna go West Coast. Also, I don't like that because I want a defensive sheet. So you can see we have 4 play sheet slots. So once we get to level 40, we can have all 4. So it's like, why are we, you got to figure out which ones are the ones you are going to be good, and then why are we chasing all the other ones? And then this one here, hold on. So got to remove that one and then come back here. Because this one is the better one. Because then we remove this during our, because this is the one that's going to help recover wear and tear. So we want to keep this one, especially right now. Okay. So we go back and then we can confirm our loadout. And that's it. So guys, this is it. I'm sorry to be negative Nancy basically the entire time almost. And it's like I'm trying to enjoy this game. I'm trying my best to really like this game. And then for the Madden PC community, I know for a fact that there's modders in work right now that are going to come out with certain mods that are really going to actually change up the game and make it so much better, right? Which is unfortunate because on PC it's going to get better, but for console, it's just going to stay the same crappy POS that it is. And so, but unfortunately, with all things, it takes time. So we're still probably a good month to 2 months away from where the game is really going to be in a nice shape, PC wise. I just don't hold out hope for the console version at all. We just have to keep hoping that we're going to get good slider sets that are really going to make a difference. And then the other thing is just have to overcome the crappy EA way. Okay, guys. So until next time, peace.